Shalom. Go ahead, share this. Shalom, shalom to everybody online. Give it a second. Shalom, family. Shalom. I hope everybody's having a good day. As some of you guys may know already, our holy days have come out. So when we will be keeping our feast days has been made known, and we put the calendar out. It's been a lot of people asking questions about when to keep certain days, when our days come in, how do you keep certain days, how do you calculate the days, so on and so forth. This video is going to be very simple. It's not going to be long or drawn out. It's going to be a very simple video, very simple, made easy, about how to calculate the feast days and how to understand when to keep certain feast days. We're not going to go into detail on each feast as far as detail why we keep feasts and things like that. We're just going to literally go through how we know when to keep certain days. All right. That's literally what we're going to go into. It's literally going to be that easy. And after this video, it should be very simple for you guys. So we'll give it a couple seconds. Let a couple more people hop on, just a little bit more, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Again, shalom to everybody that's online. And I hope everybody's having a good day. No, I am. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get it going. Like I said, this is going to be real easy, real simple. It's not going to be drawn out. We're not going to go into each day, nothing like that. All we're going to do is run through how we keep them, how do we know when they occur, and how do we calculate it for the months. It's going to be that easy. All right. So the first thing you have to understand is that let's get a preset real quick. Hold on. I should have put this precept in here, but let's get this real quick. Sirach chapter 43, verse 7. So in calculating feast days, this is the first and most important thing you have to understand. From the moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreases, okay, and her perfection. All right. The month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven. So this is the first and most important thing that you have to understand. The moon is a sign for feast. Okay. So the most important instrument that we need days is the moon. That's simple. All right. To understand how to calculate the feast days. All right. And if you need to understand certain feast days, we have certain lessons on particular feast days. You can go back, check it out. But this is specifically for people that are trying to understand how we get our feast days dates, all right, which we just put out. So the first thing you need to know is the moon is a sign of feast. So the moon is the most important thing as far as determining the feast days, all right? Without the moon, we cannot determine our days. So we use the moon, all right? We do not go by people know the Gregorian calendar. We go by the moon. All right. We go off of the moon. All right. The moon is going to determine where we're at in our days and our months, things of that nature. All right. For our months. All right. So the moon is a sign of feast. So that's the most important instrument that you have to understand in determining. The second thing you have to understand is this. Let's get Leviticus real quick. Let's go to Leviticus. Like I said, we have our feast days out, and we had 4 individuals check it out. brothers that's learned in the scriptures, my elders, myself, my brother Iram, we went through it, compared our days, made sure our days was right, and before we put it out, because we want to make sure that what we put out is correct according to the scriptures. All right, everything is scriptural based. So now let's read. We're gonna read Leviticus 23, and I'm gonna read verse. Let's get verse 4. All right, it's Leviticus chapter 23, verse 4. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons. So this is the next important thing. All right. Not only is the moon important, okay, the moon is important because we just read that in Sirach, that the moon is a sign of feast. So you need the moon. To be able to determine a feast, you need the moon. Another thing that you need the correct season. All right, because the scripture says that, and the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, when you be coming to, verse 4, I was reading verse 9. Verse 4, Leviticus 23 and 4, these are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons. So we have to proclaim the feast in their proper season. All right, in their proper season. Okay, so what do we have so far? You have the moon. All right, we have the moon, and then we also have what? The season. All right, those are the two most important things that you need. You need the moon, and you need to have the feast line up in its proper season. All right, so let's get an example with that. Starting with, let's go ahead and share my screen. So we're going to do it together. We're going to do it real quick, real easy together. All right. Now, before I go into how to calculate it, I want you guys to understand that there are certain tools that you can use to make this process easier for you. Okay. Today, I'm going to be using the Farmer's Almanac. What the Farmer's Almanac does is it allows you to see when each new moon comes, right? The new moon, we follow the dark moon. All right. And that'll be a whole nother lesson that we'll tackle. But just for the sake of time and the sake of understanding and to make it simplified, we're not going to go into why we keep the dark moon at this moment. But just know we go by the dark moon. Okay. So what you do is it's very simple. Me, I'm using the Farmer's Almanac. This is a tool. Go in your room. This is a tool that you can use. There's a lot of moon apps you can use, right? And for everybody that's out there, you know, Esau's tools you use and what blah 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 blah. Esau learned how to determine seasons and times and signs of dates from our people. Okay, if you go back and you research Native American history, you'll see that the Native Americans showed the so-called white man over here in this land how to tell when seasons was coming, how to determine what months, and the whole nine. This is how the white man knows when to plant certain things. This is how the white man knows when certain things grow and when certain things don't grow in its proper season, because there's certain things that grow and there's certain things that don't grow in its proper season, right? So this is where you get the Farmer's Almanac. Okay, the Farmer's Almanac determines is basically what all farmers use to determine, okay, it's this season, it's springtime, so this type of crop is going to grow, or it's summertime, so this particular crop is going to grow and thrive. All right, so we're going to use a Farmer's Almanac. Let me get a scripture real quick. Let's go to 1 Chronicles 12 and 32. And Esau learned this from our people. He learned this from the Native American people, and all he did was use technology, right? He learned it from the Native Americans, which is our people, and he used that and then he used technology to be able to more powerful telescopes and things of that nature, so that he could be able to understand it in a more detailed form. But he learned all of that from our people. So all of y'all out there, Esau learned that and got that from our people. Everything he got in America, I could do a lesson on that. He got from our people, right? And let's get First Chronicles real quick. So our people knew how to take times. They knew how to calculate the day. They knew all of this. This is not New Age stuff. This is not New Age stuff. Let's get First Chronicles real quick. 12 and 32. All right. First Chronicles chapter 12, and I'm going to read verse. It's very easy. Let's read verse 32. It says, and of the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do. The heads of them were 200, and all their brethren were at their commandment. So the children of Issachar, right? The reason why I pulled this out, because the children of Issachar, of course, we know was a 10 tribe, part of the 10 tribes, right? But they had an understanding of times. When you look up that word times, it also goes into the word season. So they knew times, they knew seasons. Our people knew how to calculate days. They knew how to calculate months. They even knew how to calculate days and months in advance. They knew all of this. They knew constellations. They knew the stars, all of that. All right. When you look at certain pyramids in the so-called South and Central Americas, certain pyramids from based off of archaeological studies have been proven to be observatories to be able to identify what season they were in by the stars and the constellations. So our people knew how to do this. So this is not rocket science to our people. This is knowledge that the white man learned from our people. And of course, down from the curses, we lost this knowledge and we don't know how to do it anymore. So yes, we have to relearn it. But the point is, Esau learned this. So what we're going to use, one of the tools that we're going to use today is the Farmer's Almanac. Now, what the Farmer's Almanac is, I'm going to share my screen. All right. All right. So this is the Farmer's Almanac. If you look up here, it's almanac.com. Okay. And what you do is, I'm going to zoom in. Here you have, this allows you to put what area you're in. So I put my area code 90044, and it's going to get me to where I need to be. You could put United States. You could put your city, and put the year. What you want? What dates do you want? You want 2021, and then you put the month, right? And then from there, they give you the moon. Here's all the moon phases for the month of March 2021. Okay, the month of March. And this will help you and be a guide to you so that you can determine, okay, how to keep the feast days in its proper season. Okay, so this is the tool that we're going to use today. This is what I used. There's other moon apps you can use and things like that, but I like the Farmer's Almanac. Okay, I like because it gives you the date, it gives you the month right here. Then it gives you the Gregorian month. You have 1, 2, Monday was the first, Tuesday was the second. It gives you the Gregorian month, and then it also gives you the phase of the moon. Okay, so that's why I like using this, because it's very easy and simple. So now let's do the first month. So let's go here real quick. So here's our days. All right. Now, a lot of people asked us, why are some people keeping the new year, right? Which is the first. Let's validate that. All right. Let's get the scriptures real quick. All right. Let's go to what I want. Let's go to Deuteronomy real quick. Yeah, Deuteronomy 16:1. I'm gonna go to Deuteronomy 16. 16:1. It says, observe the month of Abib, and keep the Passover unto the Lord thy God. For in the month of Abib, the Lord thy God brought thee forth out of Egypt by night. So when you go into that word Abib, okay, Abib breaks down into the word green ear. Green ear is a particular crop that grew in the springtime, okay? So Israel has certain things, and they had certain crops that they knew when the crops would grow, it was a particular season, all right? It's the same thing you do when you determining the Pentecost, right? There's certain crops that grow in the summer, certain crops that grow in the spring. So Abib, which means green ear, right? This is signifying the spring season, right? So the spring season, all right, let's go to, which is in the month that Passover is supposed to fall, all right, Exodus 12. Exodus 12. And we're going to read 12:2. Exodus chapter 12, verse 2. It says, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. So we know that the month of Abib, It's supposed to be the first month unto us, right? Mind you, don't forget, it's not just the moon, because what happens is the reason why brothers are keeping their new moon coming up. Let's go back to the calendar. So brothers are keeping their new moon to start their new year. All right. Here's the moon right here. The new moon, it gives you the time here. That's why I like the Farmer's Almanac. It gives you the time that it comes in. Some may vary, on the times, but nonetheless, we know that it's going to come in on the 13th. So remember, our days start in the evening. So you will bring in the feast sundown on the 12th, and then it'll go into the 13th. And that day you will have the Sabbath. All right. So you'll bring it in on the 12th at sundown because our days start in the evening. All right. And just to make it simple, our days start in the evening. So you will have to start the new moon on the 12th at sundown. Okay. 12th at sundown. And then it will go into and carry over into the 13th. Right. So a lot of people are having their new moon for their new year in March. Right. This moon right here, March on the 13th is when it comes in. Now, the reason why this would not be correct is because, remember, let's go back to Leviticus 23. This is the reason why that this particular new moon will not be the new moon to start the new year. All right. And we're going to go back and we're going to read why. Now, when you read Leviticus 23, all right, Leviticus 23, and we read verse 4 again, it says, "These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons." So March the 13th is not the spring season, or I should say the season for Abib. Okay. This is not the season for Abib. Okay. The spring season always comes in between the 25th and the 30th. Let's see what year spring starts for this year. Just to show you guys. All right. So here it is right here. So we were looking at in the northern hemisphere. All right. Let's see. Which is the equinox. It's called the Spring Equinox. Okay, you guys can look all this stuff up, right? This is exactly what our forefathers knew. The equinox does not start until March 20th. All right, so like I said, the spring equinox always comes in around, it can vary each year between March 20th to March 25th. But this year it's coming in on March 20th. This is when the equinox officially comes in. Okay. This is when springtime officially starts. Time is longer in certain day seasons. Time is longer, time is shorter. There's certain, by certain constellations. This is all stuff you could study. With springtime by certain constellations. There's different constellations in certain seasons. The whole nine. It's very easy to understand. It's not hard to understand. And spring does not come in and the earth rotates. Okay. And spring does not come in until March 20th. So remember, the scripture says you have to keep it in its proper season. So if you're keeping your new year on March the 13th, this particular new moon, then you're off. Okay. This is not the moon that signifies the new year. Now, somebody might ask, well, why did that work? And why does it happen like that? Look, this is the Most High's instruments, and we just have to go by what the scriptures say and go by his instruments. And this moon does not fall after the 20th. All right. This does not fall after the 20th. Okay. This is the March 20th here. It's before March 20th. So this moon is not the moon in its proper season. So if you're keeping your new moon on this particular day, you're keeping it in the wrong season. Okay. Remember, we're going with the scriptures. This is not a Abib season until after March 20th. All right. So, but we will still keep this. Like if we go to our calendar, let's go to our calendar. We call this a double Adar. Double Adar meaning, some people say leap year, but we call it a double Adar, is when this month will be like a double 12th month because the moon did not fall in the spring season. So we would still keep this new moon, right? The 12th at sundown, right? We would still keep this new moon, but this new moon will not be the beginning of our season of spring and the beginning of our new year and our new month. Remember, the springtime, you got to wait till after the equinox. Okay, family? The equinox is happening on March 20th. All right, very simple. So we'll still keep that new moon, but it will not be the new moon of our first month. Our first month new moon, you see it right here. Our first new month new moon will be officially on the 4th, the sundown on the 11th. Next month on the 11th will be our new moon. What you do, let's go verify it. So it's after the equinox. The equinox comes in on the 20th, all right, of March. So it's after, it's in spring. So everything after the 20th is springtime, right? So then let's go to the next month. All right, so here's April, the next month. Let's go to the 11th. So boom, here it is right here. Our new moon will come in right here. All right, you see it says new moon, gives you the time, whatever. And it says that it will come in on the 11th. All right, so we will keep our new moon on the 11th at sundown. All right, the 11th at sundown. Okay, and then our Sabbath will go over until the 12th. So if you work on the 12th, or if you work on 11th sundown, you got to take those days off. You got to take 11th at sundown off. You got to take the 12th day before sundown. You got to take that. If you work in a day, you got to take that off because, like I said, our days start in the evening. So the feast will start at night on the 11th, and it will end on the 12th at night. And this will be our official new year. Okay? So it's our official new year. Now, after that, what do we have to do? All right. The next feast that we will have to keep, right? We will have to keep Passover, which we just read those scriptures, in the month of Abib. When is Passover? Passover is at the 14th at even, okay? The reason why it says the Passover is I'm making it simple. 14th at even is because nighttime is when we begin a new day, all right? You read the book of Genesis, it goes and tells you evening and morning were the first day. Not getting into why we morning and morning night. We're not getting into that. We're just making it simple for our days. We'll talk about that later. But just know for us, the evening is what begins the day or the next day for us. So the scripture says that Passover has to be kept at the 14th at even. All right. So the 14th at even, what do we have on our calendar? Let's go down here. Passover. All right. Here's Passover. And here it is right here. So it'll officially start, all right, on April the 25th, all right, at sundown. And it will end April the 26th at sundown. So if you want, you can go back. You can go back. And hold on a second. Parah, go get her. So if you want, you could go back here and we'll begin counting. All right. So what you do is your count. Let's count 15. 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Actually, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Here it is right here. Hold on. I'm sorry, Salakia, Emma. Let me see if I'm in the right. This is April. Okay. Hold on. April. Okay. Yeah, Salakia. Okay, here it is right here. So count the day. 1, 2, 3. The days are at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right. So you see that? It's 14 days. All right. That's why I like the Farmer's Almanac, because it makes it real easy. Because you have to count 14 days after the new moon. All right. So you'll count and you see the days at the bottom here. and you go all the way down to day 15 of the moon phase, not of the phase of the month, the Gregorian month. The moon phase is at the bottom right here. So you can count the days of the moon phase. You see 14, the Passover is the 14th day at even of the moon phase, not the Gregorian 25th day, but the 14 days of the moon phase. So you have the Gregorian day here, and you have the moon phase at the bottom right here. All right, so 14th at even, which is the 25th at even, going into your 15th day. This will begin our Passover. So you see that? Is she asleep? Okay, go in your room, baby. So you see that? Let's go here. All right, 25th, sundown, ends 26th. Go back here to the Farmer's Almanac. 14 days after the new moon, sundown, and it ends. So it begins sundown on the 25th, and the first day ends sundown on the 26th. All right, and then there you have it. So then from there, you have a 7-day feast because Passover is 7 days. Go lay down. Go lay down with Parah. So you have a 7-day feast. Excuse me, family. So you have a 7-day feast. So after, you will have to count from the first day, 7 days. All right. So let's see what we have. All right. So the last day of Passover. So the first day is the 25th at sundown. The last day would be next month, right? Which is May on the 1st at sundown. All right. So now let's go back and let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So you got to go into the next month. So here it is right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Boom. Let's go back and count that. Salakia. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Here it is right here. Saturday at sundown. Okay. Let's do it one more time. Remember, the Passover is 7 days. So you got to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. And where's the 7th day? 7th day is right here. Saturday, May the 1st. All right. Here it is right here. Saturday, May the 1st. All right. Here it is right here. So now we got our Passover. Now, Passover is important because Passover, if you mess up on Passover and you mess up on the spring equinox and you mess up on the first month of the year, you'll mess up all of your feast days. Your counts will be off. All right. The counts will be off. And we're going to show you when we get later into the feast. So we don't have to do the second Passovers right here. Second Passover, you just do the same thing. All right. So we don't have to do the second Passover, but our second Passover would be on the 25th of May 25th. And the first day, May 25th, May 26th, and it ends May 31st to the next month, the 6th month, on the first day. Okay. So, which would be June. All right. So now let's go back here and let's get the memorial assignment. So the memorial assignment, what we have is 6. All right. So the month of June on the 2nd day. All right. Of the month of June. So let's do that count real quick. Make it easy. Let's go back to the Farmer's Almanac. Let's go next. Before we do that, actually, let's go up. Let's see when the new moon comes in for the 2nd month. The 2nd month new moon comes in. We have it on the 5th at sundown. May the 11th. So let's go back. Let's go back to May, here it is right here, May the 11th. Boom, here's new moon. All right, May the 11th. All right, so you will keep your new moon. You will have it May the 11th. Let's just double check. Boom, May the 11th. Remember, it's at sundown. So you'll have it May the 11th at sundown. Okay. And so now there is our second month. All right. And you see the new moon. That's why I like the Farmer's Almanac, because you can see, you literally can see it. It's like right there for you. So this is when our second month will come in. So after our second month come in, what feast days do we have in the second month? We have memorial assignment in the second month. All right. Actually, excuse me, not in the second month. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm sorry. Hold on one second. Yes. Salakia. Salakia. You see, Salakia 6. Hold on, Salakia. Let me see. Let me double check. Boom. Okay, yeah. So we will have it. April, May 2nd. We will have it right. Hold on, family. Let me double check. Hold on. Let me double check. Salakia. Hold on a second. Okay. All right, Salakia family. I got confused with the Gregorian. Salakia. So memorial assignment would be, okay, let's go back here. Our second month would be, so Passover would be on the 5th. All right. The first day of the 4th, and then going to the 5th. And memorial assignment would actually be on the 2nd. Hold on, family. I think Salakia. Khan, it'll be right here. Salakia. 6. Second, I got it right there. Hold on, family. Okay, boom. I'm sorry. It'll be June. I'm sorry, Salakia. Okay. Here it is right here. Salakia. So it'll be June. I'm sorry, I had a brain for it. On the 2nd. So it'll be right here. Okay. So this will be when our memorial assignment would be. Okay. So it'll be right here, 2nd at sundown. All right. So that's when it'll be 2nd at sundown. Salakia family. All right. So our memorial assignment, 2nd at sundown. And yeah, I think what we actually, yeah, second month, boom. It'll be, I'm sorry. I think we mistyped this. We might have mistyped this. Let me double check. I think we must, Simon, it's supposed to be 5 right there, because this is our second month. So it's actually the 5th. I'm sorry, Salakia family. So it's actually the 5th. Okay. So we might have mistyped that one. All right. It's supposed to be the 5th. All right. So the 5th. So memorial assignment is the 5th on the 2nd sundown. Might have to double check that. Hold on, family. Hold on, I might have to double check that. Hold on. Let me see. All right, shalom, family. I'm back. Salakia, sometimes it can get a little. I was looking at the Gregorian. That's why sometimes the Gregorian can. Let me share my screen again. Sometimes the Gregorian can throw you off. All right, so let me share my screen again. Let's go back. Sometimes the Gregorian can throw you off. So our second month does start in the 5th. All right, and then it goes and carries over all the way into the 6th. I'm sorry, which is June. Salakia, family. Thank you guys for bearing with me. Sometimes the Gregorian, that's why the Gregorian calendar can confuse you, but that's why I like the Farmer's Almanac, which I overlooked it because it gives you the day. So yeah, so basically the memorial assignment will be in June on the 2nd at sundown. Okay, based off the moon count. I'm looking at the Gregorian. So let's go back now. Let's do the count now. Salakia. So now let's go back and let's go to when our months start. And let's go. So you got the 11th right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You got to count 23 days from the 11th, right? When the new moon starts. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. All right. 21 right here, 22 and 23. So it's right here. All right. So we'll start sundown on the 2nd. So we got it back right, family. I was looking at what happened was I was looking at the Gregorian instead of just counting from the moon. That's my bad. I had a brain fart. So when you count from the moon, your memorial assignment will fall in June on the 2nd at sundown. Okay, 2nd at sundown. Because remember, our days start at sundown. All right, and this is what we have on our calendar. All right. So yeah, so I'm happy that actually happened because that is a common error. I had a brain fart. You got to go by not the Gregorian. I was looking at the Gregorian calendar date instead of going and counting the moon. When you count the moon, the 23rd or the 22nd at even, which will begin our 23rd day, is in June. Okay, so June. So we're still technically outside of the Gregorian. We're still in our 2nd month. So that's my bad, family. So then after that. All right. So after that, so that's memorial assignment. All right. So it'll be June the 2nd. All right. Which would be our 2nd month on the 23rd day. All right. Now, the next feast day we have is first fruits. All right. You have first fruits. Now, the way you do first fruits is, let me get this. Let's go to Leviticus 23 real quick. Thank you guys for bearing with me, by the way. Let's go to Leviticus 23. And I'm actually happy that happened because that happens a lot. Don't get confused like I just did. All right. Don't get confused with the Gregorian date and the actual date of the new moon. Right. Because we're going by the moon. All right. So I had a brain fart there. And it's common. It's a common error that can happen. But now let's see how we do this. Let's go to Leviticus 23. So now we got Memorial Simon. Now we're going, the next feast that we have is the Feast of First Fruits. All right. So now we have our first fruits. Now it says, let's get verse 20. Let's get verse 9. Okay. Leviticus 23, verse 9. It says, and the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye be come into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest, and he shall wave the sheaf before the Lord to be accepted for you on the morrow. After the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it. And ye shall offer the day when ye weave the sheaf of the he lamb without blemish of the first year of a burnt offering unto the Lord. So now you have to number 7 Sabbaths. We're going to read that after this Passover Sabbath, right? It says, let's read verse 15. And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath. This is at the morrow after. So that you got to count from the day after the Passover Passover Sabbath. Okay, so it says, and you shall count until you from the morrow after the Sabbath. I mean the 7-day Sabbath, right? It says after Passover. It says, from the day that ye brought the sheaf of the wave offering, 7 Sabbaths shall be complete. Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall ye number 50 days. So you have to count 50 days. All right. You have to count 50 days. All right, 7 Sabbaths have to be complete. So 7 Sabbaths after that Passover Sabbath. So we had our Passover right here. The last day of our Passover was on the 5th. All right, which was the 5th, which is April the 1st. All right, which is the last day. Or excuse me, not April. I'm sorry. May the 1st. Salakia. May the 1st is the last day of our Passover. So let's go here. Let's go back. So now we're doing first fruits. All right. So we're back in May because we have to count 7 Sabbaths. So here's the first. The last day is the first at sundown. All right. Here's the first sundown. And then we have to number 7 Sabbaths. So let's see when we have our first fruits. Our first fruits will be on the 6th. All right. So that's June on the 26th. All right. June on the 26th. All right. So let's count. So here. So let's count the Sabbaths. So you will have to start. So this is when Passover is over. You'll have to count. So this will be 1 Sabbath, which is the 8th, 2. Let's get it. Here 1. So here's Saturday. Let's count the Sabbaths. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Let's go to the next month. 5. All right. 6. Hold on. Let's go back here. So this in June. Hold on. Let's go back. All right. So 1. We'll count the days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. All right, counting 50 days. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. So you count 50 days. You count 50. All right. So you count 7 Sabbaths in a day. All right. So it'll be 50. All right. And then you'll get 50 on the 26th of June. So let's go back and let's do that one more time so you guys can get it. So the last day of Passover was here. All right. The last day of Passover is on the 1st. All right. And so you have to count that Sabbath. You have to count that Sabbath. After you begin your count on the 7-day Sabbath, after the Passover Sabbath, you begin your count on the 7-day Sabbath. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. All right. Next month, June. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and then a day. So your Passover, your first fruits always is going to land on a Sunday because you got to number the 7 Sabbaths, which is 49 days, and then you a day, which is 50, where you get the word penta from, which is 50. So we'll have it on the 26th. All right. It would start on the sundown on the 25th, but then it would be on the 26th day. So here, what do we have? Here it is right here, 26. Excuse me. Yeah, 26 right here. All right. So that's when we have first fruits. All right. So now after first fruits, we don't have any feast days until you get into the 7th month. All right. This is where you get into the 7th month. Now we have the months laid out here. All right. All you got to do is go to your moon phase. All right. And you can count the months. You want to go back? Let's go back and let's count the months. This is the Farmer's Almanac, the one I like. Let's go back. So we had our beginning of our month on the 11th right here. So this is one new moon. All right, which was on the 11th of April. We're going to count all the way to 7 new moons. This is 2 new moon in May. This is the 3rd new moon in June. All right. This is the 4th new moon, which would be in July. All right. And let's go back and let's verify it. 4th new moon, yep, July. Here it is, our 4th month in July. Okay, so let's go back. Now let's go to the next month. Our 5th new moon in August. Here it is right here. This is August. So our 5th new moon will be on the 8th of August. All right, our 6th new moon right here, which is September. And here's our 7th new moon. All right. So let's go back and verify that, which is in October the 6th. Here it is right here. October. It'll be sundown on the 5th, which would be the 6th. All right. Sundown. Remember, we always start sundown. So if you go back to October, it's new moon comes in, it's the 6th. But it would start sundown on the 5th because that's when the day begins. So you'll start at sundown on the 5th and it goes into the 6th day. All right. And so we have our 7th month, which will be in October. Now, go down and we have trumpets. Now, trumpets is always going to be, and this is where it's always going to be the first day of the month. So your seventh month, the beginning of your seventh month, is always going to be on the same day as trumpets, because trumpets is on the first day of the seventh month. This is when trumpets is. Okay, and you have it right here. So trumpets is always on the first day of the seventh month. All right. So that's why you had the dates the same for the seventh month. So let's go to here. So your trumpets would start sundown on the 6th. All right, sundown on the 6th, going into the seventh day. All right. Now, what else? These are real easy because they're right next to each other. Then you have atonement. Atonement is always in the seventh month on the 10th day. All right, seventh month on the 10th day. Okay, is when you're going to have your atonement. Okay, seventh month on the 10th day. So if you go here, this right here, you see the days right here, because if I'm gonna give you the days of the moon, don't do what I did. I got confused earlier. I'm happy that actually happened because it'll show you guys what not to do. Don't confuse the Gregorian numbers with the moon date. All right. So that's what I did earlier. I confused the Gregorian numbers with the moon date. All right. But look at the moon date at the bottom. All right. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So now 10 days on the 16th. Let's go back. All right. And voila, atonement. All right. So here it is. All right. And after that, 5 more days, you will go into tabernacles. Okay. And what do we have for tabernacles? Tabernacles will begin October 26th. Okay, so let's go up. All right. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sundown on the 14th. All right. You count 5 more days. Because it's on the 15th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me go back. Let me go back and double check. All right. Yeah. It will start on the 19th, October 19th. Absolutely. So here, let's get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here it is right here. Sundown on the 18th. Start your tabernacles. You just got to count 5 days. All right. So 5 days from our atonement, it will be sundown on the 18th, going into the 19th day. All right. Start sundown on the 14th, going to the 15th day. You count 5 days. It's going into the 18th at sundown. Okay. So that's for the 7th month. That's for the 7th month. Then the next major feast day we have is dedication. Now, dedication is always in the winter time. Okay. Dedication is always in the winter time. It's always in the 9th month. All right. The 9th month, which is the month of Caslev. Now, this is important. This is how you can verify if you're doing this right. Let's go to John 10 and 22 real quick. If all of your days are in a proper season, so you remember Passover's in spring, first fruits is always in June, so around the summer, in the summertime, okay? And then you always gonna have your dedication in the wintertime, okay? So those 3 months can help you to verify to see, am I keeping this according to the months and the seasons? Am I doing it right according to the season? And then you'll know if your months are right, because Passover is always supposed to be in the spring. First fruits, Pentecost, is always supposed to be in the summer. And then in the wintertime, you're always supposed to have your excuse me, you're always supposed to have your Casliv, which is your dedication. Your dedication is always supposed to be in the wintertime. Okay. And so let's get that. Let's verify that. Let's get John. All right. And we use the scriptures to verify John chapter 10, verse 22. And it was at Jerusalem the feast of dedication, and it was winter. So now, what day do we have? The 9th month, right? The 9th month, which is on the 12th, right? So let's go here. Let's go back. So where will our 9th month be? Our 9th month would be in December, and it will begin, let's double check, 9th month, 12th, the 3rd at sundown. So you see the 3rd right here? You see the new moon at sundown? This is December. This is our 9th month. This is where this is how you can get confused, right? It still happens to the best of us. That's why we got to double and triple check. But don't get confused with December being the 12th month of the Gregorian calendar. Remember, we're going off the moon. The moon is the 9th month. This is the 9th month that we're in. And the 9th month is when dedication begins. Okay. So in the 9th month is when we have dedication. All right. The 9th month on the 25th day. All right. And the 9th month on the 25th day, which is our dedication, will happen on the 27th. So you got to count. All right. 27th at sundown. Here it is right here. Let's count. 1, 2. So we count from the new moon. I don't know if you guys can see. Count from the new moon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. All right. 23, 24. And here's your 25th day right here. But you got to do it on the sundown. All right. That's simple. That's simple. So you're literally just numbering. All right. So dedication will start sundown on the 27th. All right. This is when dedication will start. So then you go back. Almost finished. You have Nicanor and Purim. All right. So Nicanor and Purim will be in the month of Adar. All right. That's the month of Adar. And that'll be in the 12th month. Adar is what it's called in the Apocrypha. And the 12th month is right here. See the 12th month? And 12th month will begin. Let's go. 12th month will begin in March. All right. So we've just at the 9th month. So in January, we're just at the 9th month. So in January, which is our 10th month, the 2nd. So boom, right here. That's 10. Oh, shoot. Let's go back. How about that? So that's 10. Let's go to the next month. This is our 11th month in February. Remember, we're going off the moon. 11th month in February. We'll start right here, actually. Just lock it. It'll actually begin in January, the end of January on the 31st. All right. The end of January on the 31st will begin our 11th month. And then our 12th month will begin March the 2nd, right here. All right, so this is where our 12th month will begin. Now from here, we got to count because when is it? Nicanor and Purim. Nicanor is on the 13th. Purim is 2 days. Nicanor is the 13th. Purim is on the 14th and 15th. All right. So now we got to count. So go back here, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So now we have it. Let's verify. 12, 13. Let's verify. The 15th at sundown. Yep, the 15th at sundown if you count from the moon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 15th at sundown. And then 3 days in a row, because then the next day you will have first Nicanor and then Purim. Purim will be the next day. So the 16th at sundown, and it will end officially on the 17th at sundown. All right. So here it is right here. So you'll have it 15th sundown, 16th sundown. Officially, it will end on the 17th at sundown. So it is tedious to do. Don't do like what I did earlier when you get confused with the Gregorian numbers and the moon numbers. You got to just stick with the moon, even though it might seem weird because you might have our months are different from the Gregorian months. But just remember, we're going off of the moon. All right, going off of the moon. You know you're doing it right if you're keeping your feast days in the proper season. So you got to have your Passover in April. You got to have your Pentecost in the summer. You gotta have your dedication in the winter. That's how you can gauge. Excuse me. And we have all of those, and that's how you can gauge if you're right with your months. So I hope that was clear. It is a lot of work. It's tedious. Our job is not easy. This is not an easy one. You know, it is tedious work to be able to calculate these days. All right. It's not. It's tedious, but that's the long and the short of it. All right. Like I said, don't get confused with the Gregorian. Don't get confused with the Gregorian and with the actual moon days. All right. Let me see some of y'all. All right. All right. So, Khan, that was pretty much the long and the short of the class. Just looking at you guys' comments. All right. We don't follow the Enoch calendar because the Enoch, we don't follow the book of Enoch. All right. All praises, all praises, all praises. It is tedious, Khan. It is tedious. It is. But that's the long and the short of it. You know, go off of the moons and don't, whatever you do, don't get confused, because I know it can be confusing sometimes when you're going off the moon month and then the Gregorian month, because that's what I did earlier. So Salakia for that. But I hope that was edifying and clear for everybody. Somebody said if the new moon comes in at 9 a.m. March 2nd, wouldn't the Sabbath be March 1st, the start of the Sabbath? Say if the new moon comes in at 9 a.m., okay, so this is 9 in the morning, March 2nd, okay, wouldn't the Sabbath be March 1st sundown? No, let's go back. Let's go back to March. That's a good question. No, the Sabbath couldn't be, remember, the reason why, so let me go back to your question so I can make sure I'm reading it correctly. I can make sure I'm understanding your question correctly. So your question is, if the new moon comes in at 9 a.m. March 2nd, wouldn't the Sabbath be March 1st at sundown? So yes, if it comes in at 9 o'clock a.m., Let's see what we have. Let's see. Okay. So the way we do it to be safe, you want to make sure it's in the evening. So your new moon, if it comes in at 9:30 a.m., because they had the times. Sometimes the time vary. Sometimes it might be 6, sometimes it might be 9. Certain apps, depending on what it is certain times. All right. If the way we do it is, if the moon comes in the dark time of the day, then that's when you keep it. So if the moon comes in at 9 in the morning, all right, you'll want to keep that moon the following. Okay. And the only reason why is because you want to make sure the moon comes in the night portion of the day. So if the moon comes in at March 2nd, 6 o'clock or 4 o'clock a.m., then you will still keep it on that sundown on Tuesday because it's coming in the night portion. But if it comes in on that day portion, right, of the day, you'll want to keep it the following, if that makes sense. Okay. All right. So it's March 2nd, sundown. All right. So I'm going to say it one more time. You wouldn't want to keep it if it comes in the day portion, then you want to keep it that following day. All right. If it comes in on the day portion, so 9:38 a.m., all right, or between any time in the daytime, if the moon comes in, you want to keep the new moon that following night because you got to keep it in the evening. You don't want to keep it and it comes in the daytime. So it will be the following night. All right. Because the moon will be full still, right, in the evening time. You got to bring it in the evening time, not in the daytime. Okay. So that's just to be clear. So if it comes in, so if it would have came in at two, like let's get an example. Let's go back. Let's see the moon for this month. Let's see what it is. What time? Let's see. So here it is. So you see how the moon comes in at 10:35 a.m. All right, 10:35 a.m. That's when the moon comes in, but that's in the morning time. So that means the sun is still up. So you will keep your new moon that following evening. Okay. So you'll keep your new moon the following evening because you have to bring the moon in the evening. Esau has his times and all of that, but we got to go by what the scriptures say and go by the moon and the scriptures. All right. So we have to bring it in the evening time. Let's get a precept on that real quick. Let's see. Isaiah 30 and 29. All right. It says Isaiah 30 and 29. Ye shall have a song as in the night when a holy solemnity is kept, and gladness of heart, as when one goeth with a pipe to come into the mountain of the Lord, to the mighty one of Israel. So it says you have to keep the feast in the evening. So if your new moon comes in the daytime, you got to keep it that following evening. All right. If your new moon comes in the daytime, because like I said, Esau has his scientific measures where he's calculating, and the moon could come in the daytime portion, but you still got to keep it that even. Because even though it comes in the daytime, you have to bring in the feast in the evening time. All right. So if the moon comes in, if the new moon, because Esau has his calculations, if he says the new moon comes in the daytime, like a 12 o'clock p.m. or 11 o'clock a.m., right? You have to keep it that evening. All right. Hope that's simple enough for you. Yeah, Khan. I hope that. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I was told that we celebrate the day before it comes in the morning, but I thought it was on since exactly. Khan, all praises. Which month? You said, all right. You said, which month of Abib? I mean, which month of Adar? For this coming year or for the next? For this coming year? For the Adar that just passed? There was a double Adar this year. There was a double Adar this year. The reason why there was a double Adar this year was because the moon, I explained it earlier, the moon didn't fall in the spring season. Remember, the first new moon has to be in the spring season. That new moon in March did not come in after the spring season because the spring equinox or the spring season comes in officially March 20th. We don't deal with the Enoch calendar because we don't deal with the book of Enoch. All right. So I hope that was edifying to you guys. Like I said, it's tedious, man. You gotta, it's tedious. Even me, you know, I've been doing it for a while, but it is tedious, man. It is tedious. It's work. You got to do it, and that's why we have double, quadruple brothers checking. We have 4 brothers working on it this year, and it's tedious. Sometimes you can still make a brain fart. You know, when you mix up the months of the Gregorian calendar, or you know, that's a common error when you mix up the month of the Gregorian calendar and in the month of the moon. You know that happens, but that's why you got to go back and triple check it. All right. So with that being said, I hope that was clear for you guys. You know, if there's any questions, email us, believersoftheway@gmail.com. Definitely email us your questions, comments, and we'll get back to you. On Passover, all 7 days. Get the leaven out for all the 7 days of Passover. All right. No leaven for them 7 days. Okay. Like I said, if you guys got any questions, please feel free to hit us up, man. Hit us up, Believers of the Way. Believers of the Way, 144k@gmail.com, and we'll answer any questions. So I hope that was edifying for you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and end this live, trying to make it short. And to the point, like I said, you know, try to be, it's tedious, but one thing you don't want to do is don't get your Gregorian calendar dates mixed up with the dates of the moon, and you'll be fine. And just go with the dates of the moon. Go to the Farmer's Almanac, start your counts from the moons, and you'll be fine. And go with what the scriptures say. All right, go with what the scriptures say. Make sure you're keeping your feasts in their proper season. You can't keep the Passover in winter. You can't keep tabernacles in winter, or first fruits in winter. Can't keep, you know, you got to keep the feast in its proper seasons. The 3 seasons I mentioned, because we can find a scripture attached to it, is, and you can see it, is summertime with Pentecost, springtime for Passover, wintertime for dedication. If you right on the money with that, then you pretty much set. Your calendar is pretty good. All right, and you could verify it. All praises. All right, family. Shema Yashali Yahweh Thananawi Yahweh Kai. Hear Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. Everybody have a blessed day. Until next time, Shalom.